Eric, it's great to have you on the Big Green Show. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you're the CEO of Biofibertech, and you just launched a new product, FibraQ. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yes. FibraQ is a compacted granules based on 100% wood fibers from the Nordic forest.
Is it spruce, if I may interrupt? Spruce, is that what you're using?
Spruce, I would say. It's Norwegian spruce. It can be also pine. It's basically on the Nordic forest, spruce or pine. But this product, we can use any other lignocellulose materials. Can be aspen, it can be straw, hemp, etc. But
so you actually have a wide variety of potential feedstock for this material.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We do.
And you launched it just a few days ago, or a week ago?
I think officially 2 weeks ago, roughly, yes.
Have you had any interest so far?
Yes, we have a lot of interest, and we have received many interest from end users, brand owners who want to test this kind of materials, who are curious what they are, and so on.
Well, that leads me to my first question, actually. Who are you selling to? Is it the companies actually doing, for example, parts to automobiles or a furniture, or is it the mixers, the compounders of the granulates, or who is your customer for the material?
Well, this is a very good question, because if you talk about the vision of FibraQ, the vision of FibraQ is we want to create something which is really like the plastic fossil granules in terms of format, density, and also in terms of functionality, but based on 100% wood fibers.
Yes.
So our direct user, a customer, will be a compounder, an independent compounder in the plastic industry.
Yeah.
We use this wood fiber-based granule, FibraQ, just like any other fossil-based granules to make, the compounded biogranulate, which can be sold further to industry motor, who can make various products.
Yeah.
And this product can apply in different segments. Automobile is one segment, construction, and also other consumable products.
Yeah, I get it. So it's a drop-in solution, basically, that the compounders can simply put straight into their process.
Yes.
Understand. Well, I am curious about the actual technology you use to achieve this, because as you say, or as you write, of course, the wood fibers are typically otherwise absorbing water, but you are making them not absorb water. How are you doing it? Can you say something about it?
Of course. So basically, we are modifying the fibers, the lignocellulose fiber, the surfaces, with a patent technology. Basically, we introduce the hydrophobic functionalities on the fiber surfaces to make them hydrophobic, so they can be compacted because there will be no hydrogen bonding between the fibers. Then make it possible for us to compact it in a granular format, and later it can be still redispersed in the plastic compounding processes.
Yeah. Well, can you tell me a little bit about what you are able to, what kind of plastics can you use this for? And how much of the plastic can you now replace?
Right. Basically, this is a typical biocomposite application, and this FibraQ can be mixed or blended with either bioplastics or recycled plastic or conventional fossil plastics to make a biocomposite. At the moment, we are comfortable in saying we can mixing up to 40%, but we're aiming for 100% fiber solution in our long-term vision for technology development.
Okay, sorry, you are aiming for how much? Can you say that again?
We're aiming for 100% wood fiber solution without mixing any plastic as our second stage technology.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. And for example, if I have a product with polyethylene or polypropylene, or are those typical plastics you could replace, that type of material.
Yes, that's the kind of material we can work together to mix them together, polyethylene, polypropylene, and to mix them up to 40% and make a biogranulate.
Yeah. And can you tell me something about the cost? Is this more expensive than a typical fossil-based granulate?
Well, of course, the cost is always a challenge, and our vision, our technology has the potential that this, once there are sufficient volume in the market, that we could benchmark the fossil-based plastic prices at the lower end, and then the current bioplastic at the higher end, depending on the volume.
Yeah. But already now, I mean, there is a big carbon effect by implementing your technology. Can you tell me a bit about that? Because I imagine you've thought about it since you wanted to start with something straight away.
Yeah, I think that's the reason we provide this a drop-in solution, because now if you talk to brand owners, right, and they will say, okay, we have a very high sustainability agenda. By 2050, we will have our material to be recyclable or renewable. We want to reduce a carbon footprint. And today, there are not so much available materials yet on the scalable processes, right? So this kind of material will provide a drop-in solution to their supply chain of compounders that can use this FibraQ just and other plastic granules in their current compounding processes. Let's say up to 40% of the plastic granulates can be supplemented, replaced by FibraQ. In this case, you'll be able to reduce the carbon footprint by 40% at least. So this is kind of a step in solution until we reach 100% carbon neutral footprint solution.
Well, what have been the challenges is actually quite interesting. I mean, also in terms of scalability, how much can you deliver right now? How much can you produce? And what has been the challenges so far?
Well, the challenge so far, because like any other working with materials, the complexity of resource needed to produce enough volume of the materials for intensive marketing testing at a big volume scale. So, but we have now a really good dialogues with the fiber producers in implementing of the technology to produce sufficient volume of FibraQ for testing. At the moment, we are producing the pilot batches of a few hundred kilo scale and aiming for a ton scales in a very soon near future.
Yeah, and you are located in Norrsken, is that right, Eric? You are sitting there in Stockholm.
Yes, we are. We have a headquarters of sales marketing in Norrsken House. It's a really great opportunity for us to be there. Great facilities, great networks. We do also have our own labs. We are also lucky to able to run our lab space at RISE, where we do our material development and so. And we are also in collaboration with both RISE and also different universities like KTH and Lund for doing our technical material development work.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, well, how do you see your future development is maybe the last question, actually. Where do you go from here? What are the important next steps for you?
I think next step will be as a commercial production. And also we want to see really our product into market, scale that up. We are now still in a very intensive testing phases with very interesting end user segment, both compounders, injection molders, and end user brand owners. And we see that's a commercial production and then product into market will be our next focus.
Yeah. I have one more question. Eric, how about you? What's your background? How did you get into this?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, because I originally came to China. I came to Sweden in the 80s when I was a young student. You know, I finished my master, my licentiate, my PhD at KTH. So I was kind of very familiar with the Swedish forest industry way of thinking. And I work in Swedish companies like Holman SCA. And
the forest industry or the pulp and paper industry.
The pulp and paper, so I get really understand the meaning of the forest and also potential of the forest industry potential of the wood fibers as a potential raw materials. And then when I joined SC in the beginning of 20s, I was sent to Shanghai when SC was growing globally, looking for a merger acquisition partner in that region. At that time, SC was still a group company of both packaging, hygiene, and forest products. And then I had the opportunity to work with the plastic packaging, the protect packaging. And also when I kind of travel around in Asia, I see at that time really a lot of plastic pollution, really kind of shocking things, plastic in the ocean. And I start to think about what I can do to solve this. So that's kind of the idea why the Biofibertech was founded. Both from my professional experiences and also from my personal experiences while traveling around the world to see how the plastic in the river has created really, such a tremendous impact.
You saw it firsthand, actually, when you were there. Interesting. Yes. So, are you seeing also potentially the Asian market further down the road?
Yes, actually, Asia, China is our very important strategic market because 30% of all the plastic production is in China.
Right.
So our vision would be that to produce FibraQ from the Nordic forest in Sweden, Norway, or Finland, export that as a global commodity globally. Of course, China will be one very important end-use market for us.
Yeah. Very cool, Eric. Thanks a lot for taking the time. You've answered all my questions.
Thank you.
So, yeah, very informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.